Hey, this is Lily from Good Team, and we're going to be learning how to create a chatbot in HubSpot for your sales team. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to this Conversations tab here at the top and click on Chatflows, and it will take you to this page and click Create Chatflow. Then you can decide whether you want it to connect it to your website or to Facebook Messenger. We're going to click website. And right over here, you can see a preview of these different templates that HubSpot has for chat flows. So you can start from scratch, have an offline bot, and all this little window right here gives you a little preview of what the default template in HubSpot is for these different chat flows. And you can click on any of these. These are live chats, so those aren't bots, but these down here are. So we're going to just choose one. Say it's a tickets bot that collects information from customers and opens sport tickets for your team to respond to later. So you can scroll and see that here. And then once you've selected your template, you can click next and select an inbox. Really, there's just one. Select a language and click create. And then it takes you to an editing page that looks a lot like a workflow setup. If you've ever worked with those before, has a welcome message that any of these you can click on to be able to edit them and write your message. And this is like a preview of it all. When you've got that entered into it, you can click save, or you can always, if you delete something and you don't actually want it to be there, you can click cancel and it will erase that if you haven't saved it. You can also edit these by clicking options and edit action, and enter into an internal name, write a message. You can add a message bubble as well and delete that right here. You can change the font. You can insert a link, put a contact token if you want to this message right here. And then you can do these quick replies that if you want to set up based on your visitor responses, like yes, no, maybe, things like that. You can type those right in here, and then make that as an option. And then you can, if you want to save it save it to a property, you can select that here. There are all those different kinds. Then once you're done with that one, you can click save. Or if you like the way that it is, you scroll through and you like the way that this template is set up, you can leave it. With this little go to action button, you can go to all the different, so if you want to go to the create ticket, say your chat flow is a lot longer, and you can use this button here to navigate without having to scroll really far. And then say this one, with this template, we're creating a ticket, so you can see kind of the settings that we've made in here. You can see what that looks like on your ticket right here. But on this ticket, you have an internal name, you have a ticket name, an action name, a ticket name. You can attach a file to it. Add your ticket pipeline if you have multiple. You can add it there. Your ticket status, depending on where you want it to go. Prompt, choose your ticket description. So set a ticket description or prompt the visitor for a ticket description, which would be something like this that you can add here and type in whatever you want that prompt to be. Or if you wanted to add another one right here, you can. Then you can set a ticket priority for your team and then click save when all that's done. And that'll show up right here. You can also go back to the top of that button. But then, there's a ticket submitted that this is the action name with the message. that you can also customize. And then there are these if-then branches that are a lot like the branches that you have in a regular workflow, that depending on if something happens, then there is this branch off. And you can choose that action that happens after that. And then you can add you can create a new action right here, based on whatever it is that you want to happen in your chat flow. You can get creative, but when all of those boxes, if you don't have anything else over here, your chat flow ends. And those conversations will be closed unless you choose to send it to a team member. And you can do that here. If you want to assign to no one a contact owner or specific users and teams, you can do that here. That would kind of the next required things for that is this is the message that would come up if the team member is available. And this is a message that you can write if they're away, outside of business hours, etc. Or if the chat is unassigned, then this is the message that it would show. And then you can save it. So that's that. Then once all of that building is done, you can then start to target when your chat appears. You could hide it in certain instances. There are query parameters that you can have for that show chat and hide chat. So if your website URL is a certain thing, then the chat flow would hide, or it would not appear. And then based on visitor information and behavior as well. So say when a visitor is a contact, you don't want to show your bot. You don't want it to appear for whatever reason. And you can add rules. And then the exclusion rules are to hide the chat in specific instances. And then if you don't want any of those, you can take those away, or you can add a filter group as well. So it's pretty cool. And when you're done with all of that, you can then click on your displays to choose what this little avatar looks like. If you want to give them a different name, you can do that. The display behavior. So how your chat will appear to visitors on different kinds of devices and desktop. Say, we want the chat flow to appear when a visitor has been on a certain page for 7 seconds. You've scrolled maybe 25% of the way. So you can customize that here. And the same thing with mobile. You can, if you want it to just show this little icon, or if you want the whole thing to appear, you can choose that there. When and then with the display as well, if you click here, you can control more of what it looks like, what your chat will look like. You can choose a color here, or if you have a custom color for your brand, you could choose that here. Whether you want it to be on the left or the right, this little widget. And then if you want a chat transcript to automatically send at the end of a chat, you can click yes, and it would click who you would want it to send from. So yeah, and all of this was a big preview of what your chatbot looks like. And you can set availability as well if you want it to be based on certain working hours, like only in the business days from 9 to 5. You can set that. You can add different hours here. Or you can, based on user availability, if you have specific teams that you want to kind of be in charge of this, then this is where you would make those settings. If you have like a typical time of reply like that, you could put that here. when they're available. And then when a team is away, you can set behavior, and outside working hours, you can set behavior as well. And then there's a tracking code. If you're trying to put your chatbot on a WordPress website, this is where you would go to get that tracking code to then put it on your site. So yeah, that is how you create a chatbot in HubSpot. And when all of that's done, you name it, you can also, there are some different options here for like general rules and stuff. But yes, that is, yeah, when all of that's done, you can preview it right here. And yeah, name it, call it your own. And that's how you create a chatbot in HubSpot. Thanks, guys.